Year's Eve is coming up very soon. Are you a party animal, or do you prefer to stay in your burrow and have a peaceful night alone with your loved one and watch the fireworks on the TV? Whichever you are, there's a wine for you. And if you're going to have a big party around at your place for New Year's Eve, you don't want to spend too much. You don't want to break the bank. You want something that's affordable, that's going to please the majority of people, and will add to the sense of occasion. Plenty of bubbles, plenty of good cheer. So something like this Santa and Desas Prosecco would be the go. $20 a bottle. Really, really not an expensive wine, let's face it. And it's a Prosecco from the King Valley, which is the region of Victoria which specialises in Prosecco. And Santa and Desas. Matthew Desascio is the winemaker, a very good man indeed, and a good winemaker. Whoa, here we go. So this is like opening a bottle of beer. It's a crown cap. Very, very good way of sealing a bottle of wine. Not many winemakers are doing it because they're a bit worried. Whoa, look at the froth in that. That's a very active wine, sparkling. We'll wait for a second, that'll go down. But yes, not many people are using a crown cap, but a crown cap is actually probably the best way to seal a bottle of sparkling wine. People don't use it though because it's perceived to be a bit cheap, a bit low rent. Maybe if they put a nice little design on that, it would look more expensive, but it's just a basic crown cap. And at $20, hey, who's caring anyway? So this is, wow, look at that, that's lovely. It's got a really active froth of bubbles on the surface there. And the colour of the wine is nice light yellow. It's just, you know, looks the part. And you smell it, and there's nothing complex about it, but it's very attractive, it's fruity. It's got those what I call icing sugar characters, which Prosecco often presents, with a little bit of apple and pear underneath it. And it's fruit driven, it's not complex, it hasn't been aged on the lees for a long time like a champagne would. It's all about the fruit and about the immediacy of the wine. Let's have a taste. And it's, well, that's really good because it's not too sweet. A lot of Prosecco is very sweet. To my palate, too sweet, but that's clean finish. There's not much sweetness in that. It's just enough to give it the fruitiness that people are looking for in a good Prosecco. I think that's a really excellent Prosecco, and $20, wow. I mean, you would be hard pushed to find better value than that. So that's the sort of wine that you would buy if you had a lot of people to satisfy and to give drink and food to over a party in your backyard or wherever you are. Excellent. But if you want something a bit more special, a bit more serious, something to just dwell on with a handful of special people, maybe just you and your loved one, curled up at home on New Year's Eve, a good bottle of champagne is pretty hard to beat. This is a very interesting champagne. It's not your average champagne. It's not one of the brands that you see in every shop. Nothing wrong with them, but there's something a bit more special about a brand that people don't know. It's a discovery factor. And I frankly hadn't tasted de Saint-Gall until fairly recently, and it's a bit of a discovery for me. It's a very good wine. And it's imported by Domain Wine Shippers down in Melbourne, who have very good portfolio. And this is a $99 a bottle wine, which is, well, that's a hell of a lot dearer than $20. Not ridiculously expensive as champagne goes, but it's not the sort of wine you'd be buying a case of at a time unless you're pretty well heeled. But a bottle or two for a special occasion, why not? Why not? $99. De Saint-Gall, Premier Cru, Le Tradition is their non-vintage. Let's just open it, see if we can do this without making a fool of ourselves. Ah, it's coming out nicely. Lovely. So there we go. And it's sealed with what looks like a Diam cork, so that's not a cork that is likely to be tainting your wine, which is great. Let's try pouring it. It's nice and chilled, so the bubble is not going crazy, but there is plenty of bubble there. It looks the part. It's very, very good. Mousse indeed. The colour is just right. It's got a light gold colour underneath that beautiful frothy, fluffy cloud of mousse. When you smell it, wow, that's a different thing altogether. You're in serious champagne territory here. It's very complex, a lot of toastiness, those sort of brioche toasted bread characters. I liken it to a nice buttery croissant. You're freshly out of the oven, beautiful smell. And underneath that you've got all the lovely dried fruit characters, dried apple, dried pear, even a bit of stone fruit like apricots and peaches. There's all sorts of aromas in there. Really, really good. There's even a touch of caramel, a hint of vanilla and toffee, which all comes from the aging on the yeast lees. So this is a wine that you could curl up with very happily and sink a few glasses of that as you are watching the fireworks or playing Scrabble or doing whatever you like to do on New Year's Eve. You don't have to be getting involved in the celebration, but it's a good way to toast the new year with a glass of champagne. The Real Review, we taste a lot of sparkling wines, and this year especially I've tasted a lot of champagnes as well as top-level Australian sparkling wines. So go to our website and go into the search function, and you can enter there the price level that you're after. You can enter France and Champagne if you're after champagne, the price level, and find a whole lot of wines will come up, and you'll be able to choose something that suits your pocket and your taste. And if you want to be guaranteed good drinking for the coming year, why don't you subscribe to The Real Review, and we'll help you find the right bottles, the right price for the right occasion. Good health. That's better.